Powerlifting is a sport composed by three main disciplines called lifts. They are in order: squat, the bench press, and the deadlift. Each athlete has 3 attempts with 1 minute per attempt to start the lift. There are 3 referees, and each of them give a white light in case of a good lift and a red light in case of a no lift.
The athletes are separated per weight, age and sex category. The sum of each of the best attempts per lift builds the total, and the athlete with the bigger total is the winner. In case of a draw, the lighter lifter wins.
The squat is the first movement of the competition. On that lift, the use of the legs and the back is extremely important. Once the athlete stands erect with his knees locked and the bar on his back, the central referee gives the squat command. The lifter then bends his knees and lowers his body until the top surface of the legs at the hip joint are lower than the top surface of his knees. He then comes back up, locking his knees and hips in order to complete the lift. The central referee will then give the rack command, and the athlete has to put the bar on the squat rack. There are 3 main mistakes to avoid in order to not have a no lift on the squat. First, if the athlete isn't standing erect with his knees locked at the beginning and at the end of the squat event. Second, if the proper competition depth isn't reached at the bottom of the movement. Third, if the athlete doesn't complete the lift with a single upward movement, meaning if the bar goes down during the ascent of the movement.
Hello and welcome back one last time to the 2025 European Open Equipped Championships. We have the final 2 groups ahead of us. Men's Open 120 and Men's Open 120 plus, 12 and 6 lifters respectively. We're going to be starting with the 120s, and we have a monstrous range of openers from 320 all the way to 415 for their opening attempts. You can see now on the board, looking at the projected totals here, we're going to have at least 1 lifter probably hitting over 1,000 kilo total. 2, 3, maybe 4 who have a solid chance of also surpassing that 1,000 kilo barrier in this competition. And we're going to be starting with Jussi Kangasvieri of Finland with 320 kilos on the bar.
There we go. The flight is underway, the last flight of the Open Championship.
One last showdown on the EPF YouTube channel. Taking a fairly wide stance, and that is a strong looking opener. Let's see, it's 2-1 good lift with a red light from the right side referee. As we've talked about before, sometimes with a wider foot stance it is harder to see whether the squat is deep enough or not. So we are absolutely leaving that to the referees and the jury. Alexandru Kazaciu of Romania, 325.
Two different knee wraps positioning.
Yeah, maybe one side just needs a little more help. Stay balanced.
It could be the case if he has one knee that's weaker than the other, coming back from an injury.
That is 3 white lights and a good lift for the Romanian. at 325. Jack Barber of Great Britain going for 330 for his opening attempt. It is a speedy looking opening attempt for Barber. 3 white lights and a good lift.
Some clean lifting going on from the 120 so far.
Making attempts wise today has been great, and we hope to continue in that way. Tomas Trneni of Czechia, 340 kilos on the bar for him. Another fairly strong looking opener. 3 white lights, a good lift for Tomas. Markus Glück of Austria, 355.
Can he present the bar correctly? Struggling to extend the knees, but receives the squat command. There's really a difference in terms of extension of the knees while presenting the bar and at lockout. It looked much better at lockout. I'm wondering, as the weight gets heavier, is he going to struggle to present the bar?
Well, let's hope he doesn't. For now, he gets 3 white lights and a good lift. And we'll see how far he can push his squat on the second and third attempt. Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium, also going for 355. Three white lights, another good lift. Another opening attempt at 355. So the final opening attempt at 355 will be Dmytro Holinay of Ukraine.
We've seen some great squatters from Ukraine this whole championship. Apparently, he's one of them. 2-1, a good lift.
Yeah, red light on the right-hand side referee, which means that the depth must have been borderline, but with two white lights, it seems it was on the right side of the border. .370 kilos for the opening attempt of Giovanni Mancinelli.
I think he hit the hole pretty hard here.
Yeah, bit of a lack of control on the way down, and it made the way up harder than it needed to be, from what it seems here. He went pretty low. Maybe with better control, the second attempt can move faster.
And control has been a key word all championship long.
375 on the bar for Martin Lange of Germany.
And there you have a demonstration of control.
3 white lights for Lange. And we have 3 openers remaining. So far, everyone on the board. 3 athletes still need to make a squat. First of them will be Tomi Mata of Finland, opening at 380 kilos. Just 5 kilos below his personal best, which he's surely looking to absolutely smash if his opener moves well.
Oh, the power is there. How about the standards? 2-1, a good lift, but 1 red card from the chief referee. Let's have a look at the hip crease on the replay. Does it go below the top part of the knee joints? It does seem on the line.
I think that is borderline enough to stand. The jury overrules the lift if the mistake in refereeing is egregious.
Not the case here, 100%.
Oliver Dahlqvist of Sweden, 390 kilos already on the bar. And we have 1 final opener after this, which I'm looking very much forward to.
And referees from different countries. You have France, Czechia, Poland, Ukraine, Italy. No bias on the platform.
Just the way it should be, and that is a good first lift. 3 white lights for Dahlqvist. And now for our final opening attempt, 415 kilos on the bar for Danilo Kovalo.
The 2 contenders for the title back to back on the platforms. platform, sorry. But what an opener it is, 415 kilos. And the crowd loves it. Both a coach and an athlete can Danilo push his own European record today. How is he looking? He's falling backwards. That's a technique issue. That's not related to the weight, I think.
With better execution, I am sure he can squat the 415. So going into round 2, we're gonna have Dahlqvist leading from Mata and Lange, with Kovalo not on the board yet. You see Kangasvieri jumping 15 kilos to 335 for his second attempt. It's a 2-to-1 good lift, a red card from the chief referee. Usually when the side referees agree that the depth has been reached, should mean the lifter is in the clear, but from this angle it's really hard to see. Alexandru Kazacu of Romania, 342.5 on the bar. That's for a 17.5 kilo jump. And the opener moved fairly well. Oh, but no. And it looks like a strength issue here. We'll see if he can attempt it for a third attempt. Jack Barber with the cheers from the British crowd, walking on the platform to face 345 for his second squat attempt.
Not the steadiest of walkout, but he manages to present the bar, receive the squat command, he's going down. Wow.
That looks like a strong second attempt, and it is a 2-to-1 good lift once again for Barber. Squatting just low enough to convince 2 of the 3 referees, which is enough.
And that right side referee was looking at the replay and seemed in disbelief that it was 2 whites. Just keep in mind that it is possible for a lifter to be very asymmetrical and to look very good from the front and the side and to look pretty poor from another side. So the referees are calling it how they see, and it is up to the jury to decide whether or not it was a good lift or not.
Absolutely right. Everyone has their good and bad angle. Tomas Trneni of Czechia, 355 on the bar. A bit of knee cave on the way up, but 3 white lights and looking strong on his second attempt.
The adductors are extensors of the hip, so they are useful to grind out a squat.
Absolutely. And I have to say, this is one of the nicer wrapping techniques I've seen this week.
It's a part of the game. The way you put on your knee wraps is very important for your squat.
370 kilos on the bar for Dmytro Holinay of Ukraine, and we're seeing a lot of 15 kilo jumps here.
Wow.
This was a bit of a fight. Unfortunately, 2 red lights from the side referees, a white from the chief referee. The jury will take a look at that, but if you get 2 reds from both sides, it's usually not a good sign.
Yeah, it's not a good sign. However, he's looking strong for someone that's just fresh out the juniors competing with the opens. He'll have another attempt in the third round.
Markus Glück of Austria, 372.5 on the bar, 17.5 kilo jump. Three white lights, no trouble there. Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium, 375, a 20 kilo jump to get into the squat podium positions for the time being, with a few lifters yet to go.
We've seen him yesterday in the crowd cheering on his fellow Belgians. Today he's competing and he's looking at a top 6 finish in the class. That's shaky, but that seems locked out. 3 white lights, a good lift for the Belgian.
And to be honest, for the amount of shaking, there was also a lot of standing up.
Yes, I agree.
Usually when the lifters shake, they start to move slowly and struggle, but he shakes his way through the squat pretty fast. $385 kilos for Giovanni Mancinelli. Waiting for the lights here, but that moved fairly well.
We're missing the center ref light. It's on 3 white lights, a good lift.
This is a good lift, and we'll see how much further he can push it for his third attempt. Martin Lange of Germany, 390 kilos on the bar. Yesterday, I think we have 4 or 5 people finishing with a 400 or higher kilo squat in the 105s. Let's see if he can get that a treat like that today. 390 for Martin Lange. And this needs to move well. Well, it's not the fastest, but it's very well controlled. A 2-to-1 good lift with a depth call from the right-hand side referee.
Do you think he's safe with that one?
Well, we didn't see it. Looked alright to me, but it's really hard to see from our perspective, so I'd rather not call it. Tommy Mata of Finland, 400 kilos on the bar. Can he be the first athlete today to squat 400?
That would be a massive personal best for him. 15 kilos over what we have registered here.
Seems like he's made some progress.
And improving when you've been competing for 14 years. That's pretty tippable.
That looks like a strong second attempt. Let's see the lights. 2-to-1 good lift. That call from the center referee.
A little celebration. And the jury has overruled to a no lift.
Oh, that is unfortunate. That is unfortunate indeed, but gives our next athlete, Oliver Dahlqvist of Sweden, the chance to be the first today to squat 400 or more. And that's going to be 405 on the bar.
Five kilo personal best attempt for the Swedish. Provisional squat gold. Slow and steady.
Come on. Not the fastest. 2-to-1. Good lift.
Also on that one, I really want to highlight the work of the spotters. See how close they are to the weights for the lifter's safety, but they never touch the weights. See how close they are? That is expertise right here. Top-notch spotting.
That is expertise and that is experience. They have spotted hundreds, probably thousands of lifts.
Because if the lifter drops, the weight gets heavier with the speed. The velocity of the weight is extra dangerous. So being so close without touching is super key.
It's hard enough to catch 400 kilos.
Better technique, better outcome.
Oh, unfortunately not deep enough for Kovalov.
Is he in trouble?
That is gonna be a problem.
I mean, missing your partner while losing balance plays with your mentals. So maybe he just tested the waters here. He regained a bit of confidence. He's gonna correct what happened in the third round.
Well, heading into third round, we have Dahlqvist leading at 405 with Lange. It's 390 in second.
And the jury has
Mancini.
overruled to a good lift. I'm sorry to interrupt, but Surprisingly, he's on the board.
Alright, that changes things. We have Kovalu leading at 4:15 with Dahlqvist in second at 4:05 and Lange in third at 3:90. And we have all of the athletes on the board. And starting off round 3 will be Alexandru Kazacu of Romania, reattempting 3:42.5. Oh, he's powering through. And that is 3 white lights, a good lift. Great recovery from the Romanian. Jussi Kangasvieri, 3:47.5 on the bar. This is for 2.5 kilo personal best. What a fight to stand up there.
See the lights. 2-1, a no lift.
A red and a yellow from the side referee. I wonder what that could have been for.
I have not seen what that yellow could be for, but I can definitely argue for a red here.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift. 3:55 on the bar for a small personal best for Jack Barber. Nice and strong second attempt, and I'm gonna say consistent. Consistently getting the red light from the right hand side referee, but consistently getting the white lights from the center and left side referees, which means all of the lifts good enough.
And the referees staying true to what they see. Very consistent.
360 kilos on the bar for Tomas Trneni of Czechia.
Can he hit a personal best on home soil? 5 kilo PB attempt.
Good lift, 2-1. Markus Glück of Austria, 380 kilos on the bar. He needs the 7.5 kilos. He's closing in to be in the fight for the podium.
That looked like his opener. How about the lights? 2-1, a good lift, but one yellow from the right hand side referee.
That is strange. I don't know what the yellow from the side referee could be for. His yellow would be for change of foot positioning.
Or maybe one of the spotters touched the plates. That could be for that reason.
Oh, that is a possibility.
And
382.5 on the bar for Dmytro Holinay, opting to take a 12.5 kilo jump. I think that's quite a risky move here, but nothing to lose really.
his registered PB is 385, so surely that's doable. He believes in himself.
Come on! And he stands up.
He trusted himself and he gets it 2-1, a good lift.
And he really slammed it into the hole this time. Try and reach depth. Let's hope it stands.
I think it's going to be hard to take it from him.
Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium. 387.5 for a 5 kilo personal best.
And for that third attempt, I know he's sensing the support from Sonita at home watching the live stream. Salute to Sonita, the best female squatter on earth, supporting her fellow Belgian Jeroen for his last attempt. 387.5. That would be a 5 kilo PB. It's as shaky as his second attempt. Is it going to pass? 3 white lights, a new personal best for Jeroen.
As shaky and as 3 white lights as his second. That is a great third attempt for Van Hesvelde.
Oh, he showed heart. He fought for that one.
Absolutely. Through the shaking and the pain. Giovanni Mancinelli going for 390 on his third attempt. Opting for a more conservative jump. This will still be a personal best for him. And just too heavy in the hole, stops. And there is going to be a no lift for Mancinelli. For our final 4 attempts. Martin Lange of Germany, 397.5, just shy of the 400 kilo mark.
But he's not yet secured on the squad podium.
Yeah,
He could be surpassed by Mata from Finland.
currently sitting in third. This 397.5 will not change that. But what might change it is if Mata is successful on his attempt. It's a big fight. And I think this was very exact in the selection of the attempt. 2.5 kilos more, and I doubt he would have had it.
Yeah, he might have lost balance with more kilos.
Just manages it. That is a great third attempt for the German.
Great attempt selection.
Now for the man who will try to take the squat bronze medal away from him, Tomi Mata of Finland, going for 400 kilos. It was overruled on his previous attempt, I believe.
It was.
He's gonna have to be more convincing.
And with that overruled, he lost some ground. He's now standing in 7th position in the squat event. So for squat bronze, it's put himself back in the race for the top 5 finish. No lift.
Unfortunately, just too heavy for Mata. And he has lost a fair few kilos here. That overall costing him a lot. Things might shake up going into bench press, ladies and gentlemen. But we have 2 more squat attempts remaining in the 120s, and then we have the 120 plus. 410 kilos on the bar for Oliver Dahlqvist of Sweden. 5 kilo jump. This will not change the overall squat standings, but give him another 5 kilos on his total. Looking well on his way to break the 1000 kilo barrier.
And those 5 kilos could be very important should Kovalov miss his next attempt. Come on.
That is a 2-to-1 good lift. Depth red card from the right side referee. I think he should be alright here. We'll wait and see. And in the meantime, we can enjoy an attempt at a new world record at 455 kilos for Danilo Kovalov of Ukraine. He has quite a head start in the fight for the championship.
He owns the European record at 448. He wants to break the world record, not just chip it, because it is 453. He could have loaded 453.5. He wants more than that. A 40 kilo jump for Danilo.
Let's see it.
An attempt at greatness to be the best in the world. Danilo, not here today.
Just too heavy, unfortunately.
So, I mean, that opens the door for a fight between Dahlqvist and Kovalov.
We'll see. Dahlqvist will have some hard work to do. But to wrap up the events of the squat, Kovalov successful in his second attempt with 415, gets the squat gold with Dahlqvist in silver and Lange in third. Mata unfortunately trying for the bronze, unable to get his final attempt in. Going into the 120 plus kilo category, we have openers ranging from 325 all the way to 440. And of course, it's another Ukrainian with the 440 opener.
Of course. And the first one to come out is Daniel Ardin from Romania, 325. It's gonna be fast paced for these big boys. Only 6 athletes in this group.
6 athletes is the lowest number you can have in a group without adding an extra minute at the end. And for these super heavyweights, that is going to be super fast paced.
Yeah, they're gonna be in and out of wraps. Can that change the strategy, the game plan for bigger jumps? Could be one way to adapt. We'll see that. But 3 white lights, the first squad is a good one. Next lifter out is Santeri Elin from Finland, also with 325. He's the lightest of the bunch. He could have been an under 120, only weighing in at 122.36.
I wonder. 3 white lights, a good lift for Santeri. I wonder if maybe it was tactical.
Yeah, for one finish to be in a weight class and one to be in another.
Yeah.
Could be.
Grab
And he's
a,
still young and developing.
grab a couple extra team points.
Makes sense. Now to the Romanian Ioniflo and Lupas, 375. Two to one, a no lift.
Both side referees say it was not deep enough. For a second I was afraid he skipped the re-rack command, but I think he stood there just long enough.
And these big boys are hard to judge from afar. We fully trust the referees on the platform to make the best calls possible. Now to the German Gustav Seefeld, 385. "45 years old, a Master 1 competing in the Opens, 12 years of experience."
Listens to his coach when to go up, and gets a 2-to-1 good lift with a yellow from the left side referee. I once again wonder, was that for spotters touching the bar? Not quite sure.
Then we'll focus on the next attempt. Gudfinur Magnusson from Iceland, 410 for his opener. Let's see how he ended 410.
The biggest competitor today at 176 kilos. And I think he's the only one who can make these weights look small.
Wow. He absolutely dominates the weight. However, not deep enough according to 2 of the 3 referees. This is the side from which he gets a white. And the coach is rushing to the jury to ask if he can make a case for that squat. Apparently not.
That is unfortunate. He will have to go slightly lower.
And the last opener belongs to the Ukrainian Viktor Holinay, 440. Mind you, Viktor is 25 years old.
Barely out of the juniors, been competing since he was 13.
And he also competes in and out of equipment. He's a jack of all trades. Well, that unrack looked comfortable. And so does his first attempt. Wow, 2-1, a good lift, he's on the board.
That is a ridiculously easy way to move 440 kilos. I'm just gonna throw that out there. 440 should not move like that.
I mean, I can only agree.
Wow.
So obviously, for the time being, he leads the class. And right behind him, Christophe Seefeld with 385, followed by Santeri Eline, 325. We are yet to have Lupas and Magnussen on the board. They could make a strong case for themselves for a squat medal. Second round starting with Daniel Artin from Romania, 20 kilo jump from 325 to 345. Waiting on the lights.
3 white lights and a good lift for the Romanian.
I almost thought for a second he was gonna say lightweight, baby.
Oh, it seems that it is lightweight for him.
I mean, it's crazy that these guys can move such weight like this. A 25 kilo jump for Santeri Eline from Finland. That would be a 5 kilo personal best.
Oh, it's a bit of a fight, but he stands up, and it's 3 white lights and a good lift at 350 for the Finn. Currently in bronze medal position, but 2 of the competitors will try and beat that.
And one of them is our next lifter, Ionut Florin Lupas from Romania. He missed 375 for depth. He's taking the safe route and retaking the weight in the second round. It's crazy that one could squat that kind of weight 2-1 with only a suit and no belt. He's impressive and he's on the board now. We are only missing Magnussen from Iceland.
And if he gets on the board, he's straight into second place.
But for now, looking to improve. His second place, Christophe Seefeld from Germany, jumping 15 kilos from 385 to 400 kilos. A massive milestone, 400 kilos as a squat. And apparently he's not coming, opting to scrap the attempt. We were mentioning that it was a very fast-paced group, so maybe scrapping the second and aiming for a big third. That would be his second.
That is a valid technique, valid strategy to say so.
We've seen some people do that, but more so in the deadlift. I'm thinking about Corentin Clément at Europeans, but it's a strategy that could work, and I'm gonna take those few seconds to thank one of our sponsors, SBD, Strength, Belief, Determination. They've been providing apparel for our spotters, but also top-notch gear for powerlifting, lifting belt, knee sleeve, knee wraps, wrist wraps, everything you can dream of to perform both in training and in competition, everything IPF approved.
And for a moment there, you could see our spotters loading and unloading the bar with an efficiency that I think could rival an F1 pit crew.
More efficient than Ferrari. Moving on to Gudfinnur Magnusson from Iceland. He's jumping 10 kilos, that makes it 420 after missing his opener. He'll need to be more convincing if he wants to be on the board. That would be provisional squat silver. The first one looked easy. Now it is up to him to adjust to the standards. Make it convincing. The dip at the bottom was more noticeable. 3 white lights.
This time there will be no overruling that. And all of the athletes are on the board with Magnusson straight into silver medal position. But we have one final attempt in the second round.
Yes, sir, we do. Victor Holinay from Ukraine jumping 35 kilos to 475. That would be a 10 kilo personal best for him. And I mean, he would be one jump away from a record attempt.
He would be one jump away from attempting either the European record, which currently stands at 492.5, or the world record, which currently stands at 505.
First of all, let's see if he can collect this personal best and how it is going to move. Is he presenting himself? The speaker is inquiring whether or not he's coming. No, same situation is not coming. I mean, we highlighted that, and 2 lifters opting for that strategy of scrapping the attempt, preserving some energy. But in that case, what do you do? Do you think he's going to attempt that 475? Or is he going to bump up the attempt even more?
It depends. It really depends on how confident he is in whether he's going to make the attempt or not. Because if he's very, very confident, he might go for the 495 for the European record. The 505.5 sounds amazing. 505.5, had to say it again. But I think that would be way too much risk here, and Magnusson is not that far behind him.
Considering it is his to lose today, I think he's going to attempt 475 because that would be our personal best, and that would close the door for pretty much anyone else in the class.
I think they just.
But I would
put
have
in
loved the
480,
record. So that opens the third round of squat. Daniel Ordin from Romania attempting 352.5 to go from 6th to 5th position in the squat event. Three white lights, 3 for 3 in the squat event. He's now in 5th position. But Santeri Elin from Finland will attempt that weight, ready to overtake him because he's lighter on body weight. And that would be a new personal best for Santé-Géline. The bar is loaded, easy coming. The speaker, Marie, is inquiring. And apparently once again he's not coming, so before those next attempts happen, we're gonna remind you what's the podium looking like. In third place for the time being, Seefeld from Germany. In second place with 420, Magnussen from Iceland. And in first place, Olenay from Ukraine. Magnussen ready to try and overtake Olenay. He's gonna load 442.5 in this round.
And Holiday might be in trouble if the 480 turns out to be too much for him.
Yeah, because he bumped up his attempt by 5 kilos. He's not going to be attempting 475. 480 is his call for his third attempt. So obviously, timeout for the finish. Judith Florin is up next. He's going to attempt 390. This one's for provisional squat bronze. Let's see. There might be a bronze medal on the line. This one would overtake Seefeld for the time being. Big brace. And he stands up with it.
That looked fairly easy, and it's a 2-to-1 good lift. Lupas is provisionally in squat bronze.
And with such big quads and a no back singlet, it is hard to see from that angle on the replay. But I mean, Christoph Seefeld has just switched into attack mode. It's jumping 15 kilos from 385 to 400, ready to retake squat bronze from Lupas. He's not gonna go out without a fight. Squad bronze on the line for the German. This is something he's already managed to do in competition before. Oh, he does not have it. No lift for the German. He's out of the squat podium and he'll stay on his open earth 385. Quite a surprise if I'm being honest.
Yeah, the 385 was not that hard. But it seems that even by skipping his second attempt, the German was not yet completely recovered.
Now attempting the gold medal. Good Finnur Magnussen from Iceland. Going from 420 to 442.5. That would be a 22.5 kilo personal best in competition. But I mean, for a shot at a gold medal, provisional gold medal, surpassing Olenay for the time being. And with that kind of support, I mean, you can only surpass yourself. Kicking another gear, finding the resources to dominate 442.5. That is unfathomable weight to carry on your back. Can he stand up with it? I mean, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I love that kind of support for the lifter. Let's see, good Finnur.
This is for a possible chance at a gold medal. And a huge personal best in the squat.
He makes me want to learn Icelandic to cheer him on. Come on, good Finor. And he completely lost balance. They are clipping the rack, going into the bench press rack, I think, and saving the wrist of the lifter. The spotters are safe.
And that is great thinking on the feet, both from the spotters and from the lifter. Dropping the bar to the bottom hooks.
And they are unwrapping the knee wraps of the lifter, making sure he's fine. He's standing up. And I think our spotters really deserve a round of applause for that catch. Referees are making sure everything is fine on the platform. This tends to happen in the third round of equipped squat. But I mean, great reaction from the spotters. So no gold medal in the squat event for the Icelandic Finor. However, we might have one last attempt. Is Oline coming? Yes, he's on the top of the ramp, ready to attempt 480.
480 kilos for Victor Holinay.
That would be a 40 kilo jump on his opener. He opened with 440. An opener that got him already the gold medal in the squat event.
Well,
but he's looking at a 15 kilo personal best in competition.
just looking at the ridiculous speed with which the opener moved, I think if you're ever gonna take a 40 kilo jump, it's now. 480 kilos on the bar.
Moment of silence for him to focus while he sets up. And then you're gonna see and hear the Ukrainian crowd get on their feet and cheer their athlete on. There he goes. He settles pretty quickly, receives the squat command, come on, in and out of depth. He might have done it. 3 white lights, a good lift for Victor Holinay from Ukraine. And a new personal best in competition. The favorite holds his status.
He absolutely does, and 480 kilos moving that fast. I can only imagine if there were longer breaks in between attempts, if he hadn't needed to skip his second attempt. Could we have seen the world record? 500 kilos
Might
squat.
have seen it. But the squat podium for the 120 plus is with 390. The Romanian Ione Florin Lupas getting squat silver with 420. Good Finor Magnussen from Iceland. And with squat gold with 480 Victor Holinay from Ukraine. We'll be back in about 9 minutes for bench press. See you then.
Hello and welcome back to the EPF YouTube channel, ladies and gentlemen. We are back live for the final bench press flight of the 2025 European Equipped Open Powerlifting Championships. Looking at the 120 kilo category in the squats, we have Kovalo taking gold with 415, with Dahlqvist close behind at 410, and Martin Lange taking the bronze with 397.5. We'll be moving straight into bench press, our openers ranging from 195 all the way to 310.
Their European record is 356. Based on opener, it seems kind of far.
Seems kind of far, but with these bigger weights, you can take bigger jumps. We'll see how the opener moves. And we'll be starting with Tomas Trneni of Czechia, opening at 195. That is 3 white lights, a successful first attempt, and a good start to our bench press session. Next up will be Alexandru Kazacu of Romania, opening at 205.
Taking care of his grip. Keep in mind that the widest grip you can get is the index fingers covering the rings. And on the way down, he maintains all points of contact. 3 white lights, a good lift.
That was a speedy opening attempt. And we are moving further and further up in weight. 220 kilos on the bar for Jussi Kangasvieri. The weight moved very nicely, but I'm afraid that the head has left the bench. Well, the referees seem to not think so. 3 white lights.
From afar, I thought it was a perfect opener. What about the head? Oh, you're right. It's slightly lifted, but with the eyes of the referees focusing on whether or not the bar touches the chest, the depth of the elbow, and the shadow under the head, it was quite hard to pick up.
Absolutely. And with 3 white lights, the jury can't do anything about it, so the lift will remain a good lift. We have Jack Barber of Great Britain opening at 230 kilos.
Amazing opener once again. 3 white lights, a good lift.
It really seems that the athletes have learned something from yesterday's troubled bench press session. They are picking safe opening attempts, something they know they can do, and building up from that. 230 kilos on the bar for Dmitro Holinay.
Three white lights, a good hit.
So far so good. Things are looking very well. Bit more work towards the lockout. 240 kilos on the bar for Giovanni Mancinelli.
And he just cannot cross his sticking points. No lift.
Yeah, he had great control of the bar on the way down. It seemed fairly smooth. Just cannot cross the threshold. The shirt starts to stop helping.
Yeah, the lockout is really the part during which the shirt gives the less tension, so the less help. And if you're not positioned correctly, it is pretty much impossible to lock out such weight.
You're absolutely right. And jumping quite a way higher to 270 kilos, Tommy Mata of Finland for his opening attempt.
And here it really demonstrates a great understanding as to how the suit works. There I say the shirt, the suit, but bench press shirt. Touching pretty high up on the chest, creating tension, tucking in the elbows. And reopening using the tension of the suit. Nicely done.
Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium also going for 270 kilos for his opening attempt. Can it be as smooth or even smoother than the Finns? Struggling to keep control of the bar. It's a 2-to-1 good lift, but the yellow has me worried. Let's see from the side replay if there was any kind of loss of contact.
Oh yeah, the glutes are indeed in the air at some point of the way up. And the jury seem to want to overrule, but the remote is not working. So they're signaling by hand to overrule the lift. So no lift for the Belgian.
That is unfortunate. Martin Lange of Germany, 275 on the bar. Had a great performance in the squat, taking bronze medal. And he's looking to be in contention for the overall podium. That is a great looking opener, 3 white lights for the German. And he has a bench press on the board. Markus Glück of Austria, 290 kilos for his opening attempt.
And now we are entering the weights for which I would love to see more spotters around the bar.
Oh, it's a big battle for the Austrian. I think he couldn't quite keep control of the bar.
It never was properly locked out, so he couldn't meet the recommend. I think this one is ruled as an uncompleted lift.
Oliver Dahlqvist of Sweden, 302.5 for his opening attempt.
And now we have more spotters because we've crossed the 300 kilos barrier. That looked great from afar. How about the lights? 2-1, a good lift, but 1 yellow from the left-hand side referee.
I'm once again afraid that the head might have lifted there.
Oh yeah, I think you're right.
Really, with the shirt, there is such great pressure on your chest that the head wants to go up.
And the jury have picked that up. It's been overruled.
That is our fourth missed attempt of the round.
And you kept the media team on their feet. They changed multiple times the replay. The media team on their A game during this championship.
Absolutely. Danilo Kovalo of Ukraine, 310 kilos on the bar for our final opener. That looked speedy. 2 yellow lights from the sides. That would probably mean there was a loss of contact with the bench.
Not on the way down, but definitely on the way up.
Oh, if it was very much momentarily, but even momentarily is enough for a no lift. And going into round 2, we have Lange leading at 275, Mata in second at 270, and Barber in third with 230, with 5 of the competitors unable to put a bench press on the board in the first round. We'll see if they can do any better in the second round. We certainly hope so. And we are starting off with Tomas Trneni of Czechia, 205 on the bar. Already a 5 kilo personal best for him. Looks like a second attempt, well done. 3 white lights for the check. Alexandru Kazacu taking quite a leap from 205 to 222.5. Super speedy second attempt, no signs of slowing down from the Romanian. Jussi Kangasvieri, 230 kilos for his second attempt. That is a very smooth second attempt. Almost like he doesn't have a bench press shirt on. But a yellow from the center referee. See what that could have been. Head seemed to stay in contact. Dmytro Holinay of Ukraine jumping 7.5 to 237.5. Oh, it's quite a fight.
It's on the other hand for a second attempt, but 3 white lights, a good lift.
He might be able to add a couple more kilos there. Jack Barber of Great Britain, 240 kilos.
That one looked like a fair second attempt. 3 white lights, a good lift for Jack Barber.
A very appropriate second attempt selection. Now for the first of the competitors who missed their first bench press attempt and will try and get a bench press on the board in round 2. The bar is loaded with 242.5 kilos for Giovanni Mancinelli. Unfortunately, unable to do it. Despite 2.5 kilo jump up from his opening attempt. I think he just needs to find the right groove. He seems to be sure of himself that he can do it. Now in the same situation and jumping 5 kilos from his opening attempt, Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium. I think his first attempt was overturned. Might have been for lifting of the head.
No, it was for the glutes up in the air.
Oh, he was for the glutes, right. There was another one for head lift.
But still, he jumps 5 kilos and trusts himself to be able to maintain his points of contact. I think I've seen the glutes jump up.
2 to 1.
A good lift, but 1 yellow card. Probably for that same reason.
Let's see. Can the glutes stay in contact?
They jump up, but I don't know if there's a loss of contact.
We did not see the very nicely set up light underneath. Tommy Mata going for 277.5, successful in his first attempt. Now trying to grab back the kilos he lost in the squats. Just misses the touch point and the bar is out of his control at the bottom. And the bar is loaded for Martin Lange of Germany, 287.5. A brave jump of 12.5 kilos, but his personal best stands at 300, so he certainly is capable of lifting this.
That's provisional goal with a lot of benchers still out so far.
That looks like a very solid second attempt for the German. It's 3 white lights, a good lift, and he is in bench press gold for the time being, with 3 of the best benchers in the group. Not yet with an attempt on the board. They will all try and get one now. Markus Glück of Austria, 295, jumping 5 kilos from his missed opening attempt. Risky business, let's see if it works out.
Can those 5 extra kilos help on the way down for more control? Apparently yes.
Seems like they can. Let's wait for the lights. A 2 to 1 good lift, but a yellow from the side. That can always spell trouble in the lower regions of the body. Have they lost contact with the bench?
They might have slid back, but
I think he just barely stayed in contact there. At least that's how it looks from my angle. And I think he should be alright here. 302.5 for Oliver Dahlqvist of Sweden. One of our podium favorites. Unable to get 302.5 on his first attempt. Will be going again.
Wow.
Looks a lot better.
But still 2-1, a good lift. However, the jury can intervene because of that yellow light on the left side. How about the glutes? He slides.
I think they just barely stay in contact.
That seems fine to me. He should be up on the board. So the Swedish is in provisional gold in the bench press event.
But this man can take it all away. Danilo Kovalo of Ukraine took the squat gold, and with this he will be taking bench press gold for the time being. 310 kilos on the bar. Once again, looking like a strong opener, and it's 3 white lights this time. He is on the board. We have all but one of the lifters on the board with the bench press now. Things have fallen in order at the top of the leaderboards heading into round 3. We have Kovalo leading at 310 with Dahlqvist with 302.5 in silver and Gluck with 295 in bronze for the time being. We'll be starting off round 3 with Tomas Trneni of Czechia.
Two to one, a no lift, 2 yellow light from both side referees.
Seems like there was loss of contact there.
That's not pretty clear to see. It looks to me that there's still contact. There's light under his arm strings, but I feel like the glutes stay in contact with the bench.
Yeah, suffering from success for having 2 shredded legs.
That might be the case here. And yes, the jury has overruled to a good lift. I mean, that is thanks to the replay, because at full speed it is hard to pick up the nuance.
Alexandru Kazacu of Romania, 232.5. 222.5 was very speedy. And his shoulder slipped a bit, but he managed to press it out. 3 white lights and another good lift. 2 athletes so far going 3 for 3. Jussi Kangasvieri of Finland, 240 kilos for his third attempt.
Ooh, and that sticking points is strong this time around. No lift.
That is gonna be no lift, unfortunately. Our first miss of round 3. Dmitro Holinay jumping another 5 kilos to 242.5. I think that's a reasonable jump judging from the second attempt. We'll see if he can make it.
Come on, can he grind it out? He makes the effort. How about the standards of that lift? 3 white lights.
And that was absolutely on the limit. What a great performance.
But he manages a 3 for 3 in the bench press event.
It looked pretty unlikely after the second, but he just somehow found the strength to power through. Absolutely amazing. Now for the final athlete who hasn't gotten a bench press on the board, Giovanni Mancinelli of Italy, going for 245. One last chance to get on the board. Come on!
Push it up, push it up. Oh no.
And it's just not there for the Italian. Wow!
He is out, unable to register one single attempt in the bench press event. He's gonna be able to compete for a deadlift medal, but won't be able to register a total in the competition.
Jack Barber going for 247.5 for his final attempt. This is for 2.5 kilo personal best. And 3 white lights, a great third attempt for Barber. Big smile on the way off the platform.
No lift for Jerome. No, not for Jerome, for Mata. Next out is Jerome.
Next up will be Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium. Good lift at 275. He'll be going for 285 this time. He battles the bar up.
Did he maintain contact this time? No.
Doesn't seem so, but we'll see from the sides.
Did he slide or did he lift? I think it
Yeah,
did lift indeed.
this time it seems like it lifted.
And when you lift once, the referees will really look at it. Now a bronze medal attempt, Razem.
And this is for provisional bronze medal. Martin Lange of Germany, 295 on the bar. He will take the bronze medal from Gluck on body weight. Luke will have a chance to answer. Wow! Big power. Let's see the lights. It's a 2-1 with a blue from the right hand side.
Blue could be for only two things, either downwards movements, which I did not pick up, or lack of lockout or presentation of the bar.
To be honest, the blue was given from the right hand side referee, and the right side of the bar did dip slightly, but the whole bar has to dip in order for it to be ruled in no lift because of that. And I think he's okay there. Now, Markus Gluck of Austria, trying to answer Lange's attack on the podium and at the same time overtake Dahlqvist for silver. Oh, it's a big effort from the Austrian, but no cookie this time. That is a no lift.
So we'll stay in fourth position in that bench press event.
Yeah, Lange has secured himself a medal in an absolutely maximal effort attempt. Now to see who is gonna be in first and who is gonna be in second. Oliver Dahlqvist going for 315 kilos for his final bench press attempt. This will put him into first position provisionally, with Kovalo left to answer.
For match PB and provisional gold. Was his head up in the air or was just an issue with lighting here?
Yellow light from the side referee. That is always a case for concern.
He slid, most definitely, but I don't think he lifted.
I think contact was kept this time, which means he's currently in provisional gold medal with only this man left to answer. Danilo Kovalov of Ukraine, 330 kilos on the bar. Can he reclaim the gold medal in the bench? Looks like he can, and with 3 white lights almost effortlessly. What a performance from Kovalov. 330 kilos to take the bench press gold, with Dahlqvist in silver at 315 and Lange in bronze at 295. We'll be heading straight into the 120 plus. Unfortunately, we have lost one competitor, Giovanni Mancinelli, unable to put up a bench press, but he can still fight out for deadlift medals, and we're gonna have 11 people gunning for the spots on the podium in the deadlift round. But before that, Alex is gonna take you through the 120 pluses.
Absolutely. And in the 120 pluses with a dominant squad, the Ukrainian Oline is leading the class. And he has quite the lead, a 60 kilo lead over Magnussen, who managed a 420 squat, and Lupas managed a 390 squat. Will we see the same sort of strategy going on? Some lifters scrapping their second attempts, we'll see later on. For now, it is Santeri Elin from Finland opening with 220.
And the bar is up. There's 3 white lights. That is a good lift for the Finn.
And we'll go as far up as 330 in that first round of bench press for the 120 pluses.
That is an impressive bench press.
And the next one out is Daniel Ordin from Romania, 262.5 his opener. And for those wondering about best lifters, the standing as we speak, top 6 full of 105s, and leading is Sergei Billy with 107.60 good lift points. It's gonna be hard to be over him now, judging by the squat session. Let's see that opener for Daniel, 262.5. Very speedy on the way down, a bit segmented on the way up to the 1-8 good lift, but a yellow card from the left side referee.
We'll see on the replay whether there was loss of contact. Oh, it's super hard to tell. He's definitely shifting up and down on the bench, but from this angle, I couldn't really see loss of contact per se.
Yeah, it was hard to judge with his massive legs getting in the way. Good Finnur Magnussen, the Icelandic lifter, opening with 305.
Oh, and I'm afraid there's gonna be a no lift. There was severe lifting of the head and an uncompleted lift. Maybe not getting just quite the right position.
Really, the tension of the shirt pulled him. Opening with 310 is Seefeld Christoph from Germany. Once again, a lifter that has the head up in the air and struggles to keep the bar into his hands. No lift. Let's hope he's not hurt. Let's have a look at what happened. I think he lost control on that right side. Yeah, that's what happens. He slid on the right and couldn't control the weight. No lift. Next out is Ionut Florin Lupas from Romania. 312.5 bars loaded. proper setup for a well-managed first attempt for the Romanian. He struggles to touch the chest. Finally ends up doing so. And 3 white lights. He's on the board.
There is 3 lifters on the board, 2 not yet on the board, and 1 to go in the first round.
And he really made the effort to keep his head into the bench, not to get yellow lighted, but I think he wants to be careful about his elbow depth here. Bar is now loaded for the Ukrainian Victor Holinay. The last opener, 330. Can he collect bench gold after collecting squat gold?
It's looking likely, but this needs to move.
Bench has been full of surprises for this whole championship. So I'm just gonna cross my fingers and watch. Points of contact are maintained.
3 white lights, and that is ridiculously fast.
So 4 in, 2 out so far. Magnussen from Iceland and Seefeld from Germany yet to score an attempt. So provisional bench podium, 2 Romanian, 1 Ukrainian. Olinay leading with 330 and Lupas and Ordine with 312.5 and 262.5.
And
Hopefully we're going to see these lifters correct, adapt and score an attempt.
At this rate, it's looking fairly likely that Holinay will surpass 1200 kilo total.
I hope so.
That
And
would be a sight to see.
225 for Santerieline.
Presses it up, and it's 3 white lights.
A much bigger jump now for Daniel Ordine from Romania, going from 262.5 to 275. Last time around he got 1 yellow because he slid on the bench and he made it look like he lost his points of contact. How about that attempt? Looks more difficult, but
I
it's
hope
locked out.
there will not be blue lights. Oh, this time it's 2 yellows.
2 yellows, so no lift.
And I think he knows he lost contact there.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty clear this time around.
this time it's far clearer.
Gudfinor Magnussen from Iceland is jumping 2.5 kilos after missing 305. He needs to score an attempt to be able to register a total. Let's see it. Oh, and the head is lifting off the bench once again. And 2-1, a no lift. I think it's pretty clear to see here. He's too big for his own good. Just too muscular. You almost need to look almost backwards to try and maintain contact with the head. He'll have one more attempt later on.
If you have so much mass on your back, your head can barely reach the bench. Maybe we should introduce, like we have blocks for the bench press, maybe we should introduce a bench pillow.
You might want to propose that. Christoph Seefeld from Germany jumping 5 kilos after missing 310, but he slides backwards and he's not able to lock out. So 2 misses.
I think he lifted his head again.
And sometimes the head helps you solidify your position. I think, oh yeah, it did lift. But sometimes lifters tuck their chin to maintain point of contact also with the neck, and it makes for more friction into the bench. It's easier to stay into position, but with a bench shirt, it is way more difficult to do so. And we've seen Ordine and Eline have X'd out their third attempt. It's gonna be short for these bigger guys. But now we have Ion Florin Lupas from Romania jumping 5 kilos from 312.5 to 317.5.
Oh, he tries to fight through, but just barely misses it. And 2 of the athletes have scratched their final attempts. That is gonna make the final flight even shorter. We're gonna have to add time. We're gonna have to add 2 minutes to the timer, because there's gonna be just 4 attempts in the final flight.
I don't know if it works like that actually. Because they're in and the round keeps on continuing, and depending on what the other lifters would have called as attempts, they might have been before them anyway, so I don't know if we'll have time. It is a nuance that I'm not so sure of in the rule book. We'll see what the jury does.
I think it should be interpreted in the way that I explained, but of course that's my opinion. Just a lawyer here, so.
Victor Hollinet jumping 20 kilos from 330 to 350.
His
A
opener
10 kilo PB on the line for him.
His opener was absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah, 100%. He already has guaranteed bench gold. But there's a PB on the line. Can he lock it out? Oh, he powers through. 2-1. A good lift, but watch out. Lack of depth signaled by the left-hand side referee. And with that left elbow very much tucked in, it kind of looked like it's not taping off, but I think it's going to be very hard to overturn that, especially when that right elbow looks good.
And to be honest, I don't see where his shoulders are. I cannot point out the middle of the shoulder. He's just so massive, and the shirt completely deforms the shape of the body.
That's why it's going to be hard to justify lack of depth on that one. It's not clear at all, so it goes in the favor of the lifter. The third round is going to start with Oline in the lead, Lupus in second, and Orjin in third. 2 lifters yet to be on the board. Goodfinner Magnussen is one of them. He's still jumping 2.5 kilos. That makes it 310. He needs that attempt to stay in the competition. Keep your head glued to the bench.
Come on.
He can't manage to do so. That attempt is going up, but I think he lost contact with his head. But
It's
3
white lights this time. And we can see we can hear a very loud yow.
Oh, he might have maintained a slight contact.
I think he just maintained the slightest contact imaginable with the head.
I mean, whatever he did, it worked, because 3 white lights, undeniable attempt. He's on the board, he saved himself. Hopefully Christoph Seefeld from Germany can do the same. He missed 310, missed 315. He's retaking 315. This one's also for a provisional medal in the bench press event. This one would be guaranteed bronze, provisional silver, but the most important thing is to save himself.
Needs this to stay in the competition.
Intriguing storylines here in the 120 pluses. Let's see it, Christophe. Come on, manage that attempt. Dominate
Let's
the
go.
bar. And the head is up in the air again. And no lift. Christophe Seefeld is out of the competition.
That is unfortunate. Unfortunate indeed. But we still have 2 lifts remaining. Podium positions are decided at this point. But still 2 massive bench press attempts to see the final 2 bench press attempts in the open part of this competition and in the part that will be live streamed here on the EPF YouTube channel.
Jonid Florin Lupas from Romania retaking 317.5. A 5 kilo jump that he missed last time around. He already has guaranteed bench silver. But in the race for the title of vice champion, that one could be important.
That one could be very important, giving him an extra 5 kilos to get closer to Magnusson.
Struggling to stabilize at the bottom. And I think he loses it here. No lift.
Unfortunately, that's going to be a no lift. And we have one final attempt.
So Magnusson has a 27.5 kilo lead for second place over Lupas. The last attempt for Victor Holinay from Ukraine. He opened with 330, destroyed it. Flew by 350, not much harder, but slightly. 10 more kilos onto that for a new personal best in competition.
360 kilos for Victor Holinay. A dominating performance so far in this competition, and he's looking to continue in that.
He's gonna need that one if he wants to make a case for himself in the top 3 best lifters of all weight classes. He's getting pulled in the direction of his hips. No lift for Victor Holinay, but he still walks away with bench press gold with 350. Not many successful attempts in that bench press session for the 120 pluses, but still the bench press podium. In bronze, the Icelandic Gudfinnur Magnusson with 310. Silver medalist of that bench press session, Jonid Florin Lupas, the Romanian, with 312.5. And Victor Holinay gets gold with 350. We'll be back in about 9 minutes for deadlifts.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the EPF YouTube channel. And we are back for one final push. I am Erasm Ivans, joined by Alexandre Nodin. We are here with you for one last session, the final showdown in the 120s and the 120 pluses. In the 120s, things are looking interesting so far. Looking at the subtotal results, 745 for Kovalo, close behind Dahlqvist with 725, and not that far behind Martin Lange with 692.5. Things are gonna jump up and down after deadlifts, but it is looking close with 4, maybe 5 lifters who can potentially finish on the podium. Our deadlift openers ranging from 240 all the way to 315. And we are about to start. Our first competitor will be Alexandru Kazacu of Romania, opening at 240 kilos. Taking a 7.5 kilo jump from his final bench.
That's one way to put it. Bit of a struggle on the right side at lockout.
Yeah, I think with these larger guys we're gonna see these issues with lockout. Their thighs, their quads are just so huge, they can't get out of the way.
And flags up in the air, 1 white, 2 whites, and 3 whites. It's a good lift.
He's on the board, that's what matters in the end. And now he has room to grow. 245 on the bar for Jack Barber.
Oh, he looked strong enough. 3 white lights, a good lift. Could be matching his personal best of 257.5 in the second round, maybe.
Oh, with how that moved, absolutely would be in the appropriate region of a second attempt. Now jumping up 40 kilos in weight. 285 for Tomi Mata of Finland. That is a comfortable opening attempt. He was looking to be in podium contention, unfortunately missed 400 in the squat twice, which has put him somewhat on the back foot here. But we'll see, with some big jumps he can close up and pray for mistakes by the competitors in front of him.
Especially looking that he has the body weight advantage against almost everyone in the class except for 2.
Tomas Sternini of Czechia, 290 kilos for his opening attempt.
And the remote are getting tired with all this competition. So flags are up in the air. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Yeah, I don't think the system can handle this much heavy lifting. He's gonna have to train harder, progressively overload the remotes. And there is 290 kilos already on the bar for Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium.
Fantastic opener. 3 white lights.
looked very comfortable, and he might be looking to sneak up towards the podium positions.
And judging by how stacked are these last openers, he might be looking at a medal in the deadlift event because that one was very comfortable.
And all of the next 7 openers are fairly in reach. We have 3 at 295, then 3 at 300, and 1 at 315. First of the competitors going for 295 will be Markus Glück. That is another fairly comfortable opening attempt.
3 white lights, a good lift. His total is solidified.
Also going for 295, Oliver Dahlqvist of Sweden. He's gonna give him a 10-20 total. And another strong looking opener. Very close to his personal best. Now for an athlete who is not on the board, unfortunately without a single bench press in, but very much in the fight for deadlift medals, Giovanni Mancinelli of Italy. Slow but steady, 3 white lights and a good lift for Mancinelli. Now for the 3 athletes going for 300. First of them, Martin Lange of Germany. Will end round 1 in 3rd position if he gets this.
That moved fine.
Absolutely no problem there. Another lifter going for 300, Jussi Kangasvieri of Finland. Three white lights. I was slightly afraid that the knees were not quite locked there. They were shaking somewhat, but the referees seem to be satisfied with that.
I saw the same thing, especially the right one, but it does look fine here.
2 attempts remaining, first of which will be Dmytro Holinay of Ukraine.
Three white lights is on the board.
Very technical sumo.
Okay, great bar proximity all throughout the lift.
And for our final opening attempt, Danilo Covallo, 315 kilos. If he gets this, he is in the lead.
That one could seal the deal, to be honest.
It could, but at 1060 he still might come under attack, possibly from Dahlqvist. But if this is comfortable, I don't think he's touchable in this competition, and it seems comfortable enough. It's 3 white lights, a good lift, and a 1060 kilo total for Mr. Covallo in this competition.
Each and every opener has been successful, so the only lifter without a total would be Mancinelli because of bench press.
And going into round 2, we have Covallo leading. In second place, Kangasferi on bodyweight from Lange, on bodyweight from Holinay. 3 lifters with 300 kilos, but now we're gonna start seeing some differences in jumps.
There's 5 kilos in between 2nd and 7th position in this deadlift event.
Starting off round 2 will be Alexandru Cazacru of Romania, 255 kilos on the bar. One of the very rare cases of wrist wraps used on deadlifts that I've seen. And grip slippage for Cazacru.
But I think this is why he tried using wrist wraps, because it makes for more mechanical tension around the tendons, the hands, etc. And I think he knows himself to struggle with grip. That's why he tried with the wrist wraps.
Theoretically, it should help. Of course, at the same time, they cut off blood flow to the hands, which can impact the exertion of strength.
It is indeed a double-edged sword.
260 on the bar for Jack Barber. Already going for a personal best. Looking fairly comfortable. .300 kilos on the bar for Tommy Mata. And just to illustrate how close this is, he's jumping from 10th to 3rd in the deadlift with this lift.
I'm gonna wait for the lights on that one. 3 white lights.
He finished with quite a tug, but it didn't seem like he was supporting.
For better judgment, we'll have a look at the replay. That looked like supporting on the thighs to my vision, my liking, but I'm not as close as the referees.
Agree to disagree here. Tomas Trneni of Czechia jumping 15 kilos to 305.
Three white lights, a good lift. And this is really where the baby powder comes in handy, to reduce friction against the thighs on a heavy conventional.
Oliver Dahlqvist, one of the podium favorites, going for 305 for a 1030 total. And with these kinds of jumps, he will not be closing to Covallo, but he will be running further and further away from Lange. Ooh, but a miss on grip here.
A surprising miss.
Let's see what happens. Maybe just grab the bar incorrectly.
No signs of struggle. He really loses it in an instant.
Well, that is unexpected, but maybe he lost it on purpose when he felt his grip slipping. No point trying to hold it if he's gonna tire you out and possibly even tear your hands up.
And the bar is going to get brushed in the third round. It would help for sure.
307.5 for Markus Glück. And there's gonna be 3 white lights and a good lift for Glück. He's closing in on the podium, but I think he's a bit too far away at this point. We'll see what happens in round 3. Of course, a lot still to play for, including deadlift medals, and one of the men in the play for deadlift medals is Giovanni Mancinelli. Without a bench press on the board, but trying to take home a deadlift medal for Italy. 310 kilos on the bar to jump from 9th to 2nd here.
And even with that early knee lockout, he manages to complete the rep. 3 white lights, a good lift.
Yeah, he's been doing his RDLs. Martin Lange of Germany trying to close up on Dahlqvist. 310 kilos on the bar. And that is a comfortable looking second attempt. He might be in with a shot here. He's gonna jump, he's gonna have to jump another 20 kilos though. Jussi Kangasvieri, 310 kilos to jump into deadlift silver for the time being. Three white lights, a good lift for Kangasvieri. $312.5 for Dmitro Holinay to take deadlift silver for the time being.
Nothing wrong with that attempt. 3 white lights. 2 for 2 so far in the deadlift event.
Now for the first man attacking the deadlift gold medal position. The bar is being loaded for Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium.
Take it while you can because Kovalov is going to push it. But when we've seen his opener, I told you he was going to pull big, so I'm not surprised to see that counter jump from him.
Oh, absolutely. His opener was absolutely flying.
That would already be a 5 kilo personal best for him.
And I'm not expecting this to be particularly hard.
It is not particularly hard.
To be honest, with how this one looked, Van Heswelde has the body weight and the lot number advantage over Kovalo. So I'm sure he's gonna go trying for a big third pull for the deadlift gold. If something crazy doesn't happen.
Yeah, because the podium is now over 1,000. It is pretty much too far. But if someone really misses out, it might still be open.
Well, he's just put in 340. And now he's Kovalo, 325. Three white lights, extending his lead, and at this point, he's untouchable in regards to the total placings. More or less untouchable.
Yeah, 1070 is kind of far.
So looking at the results, at 1070, Kovalo, who is looking more and more likely to be your European champion. At 1020, Oliver Dahlqvist, and fairly close behind, Martin Lange at 10:02.5. We might see an attack on second place or an attack on third place. We'll have to wait. It would take some pretty crazy pulls here to move any of the top three guys out of their position. But if anyone can do it, it is the strongest 12 120s in Europe. First of which is Alexandru Kazacu, reattempting to 55.
No wrist wraps this time around, and that
just
same issue.
yeah, his quads are just too big, suffering from success.
It's a cruel world. Having too big of a anterior chain.
267.5 for another personal best for Jack Barber. The 260 looked comfortable. He looks like he could have this in the bag. Oh, the lockout is a bit of work. But it's three white lights and a good lift. You can see some of the classic British banter in the background. Well, here, the
Calling
classic
him
British
Mr.
banter.
9 for 9.
I think he owes someone a beer for that. Oliver Dahlqvist reattempting 305. If he gets this, he is pretty much untouchable in second place. Even if he doesn't, he's in a very strong position. Oh, a bit wonky lockout, but it's good. Three white lights, a good lift.
He does a good job of selling the attempt after putting down that bar, because that left shoulder seemed questionable. And that gives him 10:30, so that's a 20 kilo lead over the German.
Tommy Mata of Finland, 312.5. This is for provisional third place in the deadlifts, but with a lot of lifters left to go.
Can he manage to lock it out?
At this point, unfortunately, a no lift.
All three refs signaling blue lights for both downwards movement and supporting on the thighs.
Well, that technically would be yellows for incompleted lift, because he was definitely not
But
anywhere close to locked out there.
if he did receive the down command, it would be blues.
Did he receive the down command?
I think so, yes. Otherwise, they
Oh,
would
alright.
not have signaled blues.
Interesting situations in regards to rules interpretation here. Markus Glück going for 315 for his final deadlift. Now he's trying to gun for deadlift bronze, but there's going to be a lot of lifters attempting to take it away. Oh, it's a big fight, but I think there's going to be blue lights there.
I agree. And once again, 3 blue lights supporting on the thigh signal here. And downwards movement, actually, both to be signaled.
Jussi Kangasvieri, 315 kilos. This is for deadlift silver provisionally.
Oh, and with the third deadlift, he's looking different. He kicked in that extra gear, looking more determined and hyped than ever.
He is looking absolutely ready.
Can he lock out his knees properly?
Come on!
Oh, it's gonna be
Cannot quite lock out. That is unfortunate.
And now 3 yellows for an incomplete attempt. The bar is ready for the next lifter.
Thomas Trneni, 317.5, gunning for the deadlift silver. Can he do it? We have seen a lot of misses in round 3. These athletes are pushing to the limit. And he gets it past the knees. Oh, he locks it out, but there's practically the whole rulebook of technical errors supporting downwards movement, changing foot position during deadlifts. It is a rare sight to see someone change their footing mid-lift and still somehow complete it.
And without falling.
Without falling, yeah. Yes, he could have gotten the whole rainbow of lights, besides white. Martin Lange now. He is in 3rd place. Fairly comfortable 3rd place. Going for 317.5 to make that 3rd place even more comfortable and secure a deadlift silver for the time being. Aufgeht's Martin.
That seemed like a perfect 3rd attempt. 3 white lights for him.
That was a very strong 3rd attempt. Just securing him the 3rd place overall. I think it would be too big of an ask now for anyone to take it away from him.
However, that's not a guaranteed medal in the deadlift event. You have 4 more deadlifts to go and 3 are to overtake him. Giovanni Moncinelli, 320, a 10-kilo jump to go from 6th to 2nd in the deadlift event.
Locks it out, I think. 3 white lights, and what a performance from the Italian to redeem for the bench press unsuccess. He is in silver position on the deadlift for the time being.
But with 2 more athletes that could be potentially overtaking him, Dimitro Olinet and Jeroen van Hespelen.
Dimitro Holinet will be first of those, 322.5 on the bar for deadlift silver medal. He would secure at least bronze with this. Manages to pull through, and it's 3 white lights. He's on the deadlift podium.
So that's a guaranteed medal for him, provisional silver and guaranteed bronze. Moncinelli, the Italian, now pulled back into provisional bronze, with Jeroen now to kick him out of the podium if he manages that 327.5.
Jeroen van Hesvelde of Belgium. He's going from 5th to 1st in the deadlift. That's how close it is. It's gold medal or nothing. He gets it. He gets at least silver. And this 12.5 kilo jump, looking at his second attempt, seems reasonable.
Oh, and it's the grip giving up on the bar on the left side. Heartbreaking because it flew off the ground. He looked strong enough for that attempt.
It was super strong, and let's see again on the replay. Yeah, just the hand clipping his thigh, his grip opening. That has gotta be heartbreaking.
And in that case, I can only understand the advocates for straps in equipped. It makes sense.
Oh, it will be a lot of fun, at least for me.
It would make even more difference with Raw.
And now, for one final pull in the 120s, 367.5 for a monstrous jump for Danilo Cavallo. This is for first place overall. Gives it a good go. Unfortunately, no lift. This would have given him the total victory amongst all athletes. Unfortunately, not today. And we'll be heading straight on into the 120 plus. But to recap the 120s, Danilo Cavallo taking the gold medal with 1070 total, with Oliver Dahlqvist in silver with 1030 and Martin Lange in bronze with 1010. And in the deadlifts, Cavallo taking gold with 325. Dimitro Holinet, his teammate, taking silver with 322.5, and Giovanni Mancinelli redeeming himself from bench press with a 320 deadlift for a bronze medal.
And Kovalov ends up being 6th for the time being in overall best lifters of this Open Championship.
Really goes to show you the 105s yesterday were insanely good.
Into the 120 pluses we go, openers ranging from 260 to 340 kilos. The first one being Daniel Ordin from Romania. Keep in mind that we have one lifter out with Seefeld unable to register a bench press, and that opener is a good lift, 3 white lights. Next out is Ionut Florin Lupas from Romania, 270, opening quite far off his personal best of 315. What can we expect out of him? Big jumps or maybe slightly injured?
Well, I hope it's big jumps.
Just an opener to secure the total. Oh yeah,
Yeah, that looked very comfortable.
and 3 white lights, a good lift. Next out is the Icelandic Gudfinnur Magnusson. He squatted 420, collecting a silver medal. He benched 310, collecting a bronze medal. He's opening with 300 kilos.
Looking in a very strong position to take second place. At the moment, it would take some pretty big jumps from the other competitors to catch him and beat him for that.
Somewhat of a strongman technique here, rolling the bar. And 3 white lights. The total is secured for Magnusson.
Yeah, you often see it with the bigger guys. They use the momentum of the bar moving towards their body to get into a better position.
And rolling the bar while still managing a proper wedge is hard. It is difficult to time it correctly.
It is difficult to time it correctly, but if you do time it correctly, it can be very beneficial. However, not suggested by most coaches for most lifters.
100%.
You have to have the specific need for it.
Santerielin opening also with 300 kilos.
A super narrow stance for a difference.
And it's a good lift. And this round of opener is just flying by. We only have 2 more openers to go. Christoph Seefeld from Germany and Victor Holinet from Ukraine. And the first one of the 2 is opening with 305.
Christoph Seefeld missed all 3 of his bench press attempts, unfortunately, but he'll try and go for a deadlift medal to redeem. He's a strong looking opener, and I think he almost shrugged it past his huge quads. That is also one way to do it.
He weighed the bar, he said, that's kind of light. And the last opener goes to someone that's surely is going to be crowned champion here today. Victor Holinet from Ukraine, if he can manage 340 kilos. An 1170 total on the line with the deadlift opener.
And if this moves well, if he can take some big jumps.
Oh, I want to see 1200. 3 white lights, a good lift. Everyone's on the board in the deadlift event. And what do you do now in terms of strategy? Do you repeat what happened in the bench and take every attempt, or repeat what happened in the squat and scrap some to preserve some energy?
Well, it really depends from lifter to lifter how much a deadlift takes out of them. And the one thing I would not like to see is people scratching their attempts. Because if they scratch the attempts, it gives other lifters even less time that they have. We've seen it happen in the bench.
And here Daniel Ordini is going to take his attempt, jumping 15 kilos. 275 his second attempt. I think he's losing it at lockout. Yes, he is. No lift.
It's so hard to bring that bar all the way up when you're this huge.
Next lifter to come out is Yoni Florin Lupus. He's making a 20 kilo jump from 270 to 290. And he's looking well set on that third step of the podium.
Oh, absolutely. Looking fairly comfortable with nice 100 kilo advantage. And another 3 white lights, a good lift at 290.
He might be able to cross the 1,000 kilo barrier with his third deadlift.
Yeah, 7.5 kilos are missing from that, and from the looks of it, I'd say he has them in the tank.
Bars now loaded for Gudfinor Magnussen from Iceland, a 15 kilo jump from 300 to 315. He's in second position, also looking very well set in that set position. But looking at a deadlift medal, this one's for provisional silver. Looks like he's not coming out, so some strategy calls are going down here.
Yeah, some of the lifters are deciding to wait it out.
So he's going to time out and let someone take the upper hand. It's a risky move, but we'll have the results of that later on in the round. The clock is ticking. He'll be timing out. No lift. A quick brush off the bar from our spotters, equipped with apparel from SBD, Strength, Belief, Determination, one of the main sponsors of the EPF. They're here. They produced a pretty cool shirt, special edition shirt of this championship from Pilsen. You can get it live at the championship. Moving on to Santeri Elin from Finland, making that same jump from 300 to 315, but he's taking it.
He's taking it. He's the lightest of the athletes.
And with his narrow conventional, that does not look hard. 3 white lights, a good lift.
I'd say he probably has the endurance advantage over the bigger guys.
Yeah, he has less inroad in between attempts. Next out is Christoph Seefeld from Germany, from 305 to 320. This one's for provisional silver medal in the deadlift event. Will he use the momentum of the bar? Yes. And it's still looking pretty comfortable. 3 white lights, provisional silver in the deadlift event of the 120 pluses.
That is a great looking second attempt. Now the question, will we see Victor Holenay come out for his second attempt?
If I remember correctly, he skipped his attempt in the second round of squat, but he looks to be coming up on the platform for his second deadlift.
I'm somewhat confused by their decision to go to 370, unless this is super comfortable.
This was
If he just
for
went for
1200.
It's for 1200, but if he just went for 372.5, it would give him third place overall. Now he's gonna be just barely fourth, I think.
I'm not so sure he's looking at that yet. I think the 1200 kilo barrier is one great milestone that he wants to hit. It would be a new personal best and the biggest total we've seen so far.
Let's hope this is easy.
I wouldn't say easy, but I think he has it. 3 white lights and maybe room now to play for best lifter overall.
Comfortable enough.
I see you calculating here from the commentary booth. What would he need to try and make a case for himself on the best lifter podium? Because for now he leads the deadlift event with 370, followed by Christoph Seefeld with 320, and Santeri Eline in third with 315. He also leads the class with 1200, followed by the Icelandic with 1030, and in third the Romanian Lupas with 992.5. While you're calculating, we're focusing on the third round. Daniel Ordin from Romania taking 277.5. And the grip is lost, unfortunately. No more grip strength.
And my math results have just come through. He needs a 1227.5 total.
Ooh, that's a big ask.
That's a big ask.
Apparently he's going for 1215. What would that give him?
1215 would give him the silver medal position in the whole standings, so second best lifter of the championship. But he does not need 1215 to be the second best lifter of the whole championships.
We'll see
With a
if he
12
changes attempts.
with a 1210, he is already ahead. And even with a 1207.5, he would be ahead.
Okay, we'll see that later on. For now, we have Unit Florin Lupas, the bronze medalist of the class of the 120 pluses, attempting 302.5.
Big scream at the top. And he seems extremely satisfied with that. That is a good lift.
I would also be happy with that deadlift. 3 white lights, 3 for 3 in the deadlift event. He breaks the 1,000 kilo barrier with 1,005 kilos.
And that energy on the platform can be infectious.
Absolutely.
I'm suddenly smiling.
I want to go train right now. Now Gudfinnur Magnusson from Iceland. He scrapped his second attempt, did not come for 315, so he's going from 300 to 330. He's second in the class, well set in that position, won't be overtaken. But he wants to go from 5th to 2nd in the deadlift event. That would give him 1060 as a total. That's absolutely massive. Let's see it, big man, come on. Knock it out. He won't
Just
be able
too
to.
heavy for the Icelandic competitor, and we are seeing our first attempt changes coming in.
Surely they're going to lower the attempt to 330 to play for that deadlift medal. It's Santeri Eline from Finland. So he opened on 300, passed by 315. He's going to attempt 330 for that provisional silver medal in the deadlift event. He's 4th in the class, that won't change. He has a provisional bronze medal in the deadlift event. Could he make a case for himself in that second step of the deadlift podium? He has the strength. The lockout could be questionable. Let's see it. Oh, he might not have waited for the command here.
I think he did not receive the command in time, and that is going to be a no lift. Unfortunately, he stays in bronze medal position, and now we have our deadlift podium, we have our overall podium, but we have 2 deadlifts remaining. One that will decide whether Seefeld can break his personal best and redeem for the bench press.
Yeah, he's going for 337.5 with a registered PB of 335. He needs to end on a high note. Forget what happened earlier in the bench press. He squatted 385. That was massive. 4th biggest squat of the class. No bench, but 337.5, the second biggest deadlift of the class. Let's see it, Christoph. Control that momentum. And The lights are white. It's a good lift, a new personal best for Christoph Seefeld.
I am not seeing an attempt change from Ukraine. Holinay is gonna go for it. 385 will be on the bar. For second place in the overall standings of the competition, already has the title secured in the 120 plus.
They might not even be looking at that. They're just looking at their own goals. They want 385, a 15 kilo jump for Victor Holinay, the first one to cross the 1200 kilo barrier here. The Ukrainian for a 15 kilo jump, a new personal best, the second place in the whole Open Championship. And one last deadlift right in front of our eyes.
Final deadlift
Let's
of the
soak in
Open
the moment.
Championships.
This is one to remember. Come on, Victor.
Davai.
Knock it out!
He's a fighter. And just past the knees.
And no lift for Victor Holinay. So it will be the 5th best lifter of this whole championship. He's obviously the champion of the class. He gave it his all. Deadlift podium for the 120 pluses. In bronze, Santeri Elin from Finland with 315. In silver, the German Christoph Seefeld 337.5, and with a massive 370, Victor Holinay from Ukraine takes deadlift gold. The standings in the class: a podium all over the 1000 kilo barrier. Bronze medalist Ionit Florin Lupas from Romania 1005. The Icelandic vice champion Gudfinor Magnussen with 1030, and the champion of the class, 5th best lifter of this whole championship, Victor Holinay from Ukraine with 1200. It was an absolute honor and pleasure being here. Thanks to all of the media team, the referees, everyone that's been involved with that open part of the championship. Thanks to you, Azem. Keep on talking about powerlifting. Long live powerlifting. And I hope you stay with us for the medal ceremony. And the championship goes on tomorrow with the Masters.
Just to repeat your words, it has been an absolute honor and a pleasure being here, taking our viewers through these championships, guiding them, explaining to them, leading them. It was a pleasure spending the week with you and talking with you on the live stream and off, Alex. And I hope we see each other back soon.
Absolutely. Long live powerlifting, and see you on another championship.
Stay strong.
120 kilo, 120 kilo only. Gentlemen, 120 kilo only. Okay, they are already there. So stay. Okay, we will start in 120 kilo category. And our medals will be given the participation medals and medals overall by our EPF president, Mr. Björn Astad from Norway. And then Mr. Xavier de Putorac from France, our EPF treasurer. And here is the participation medal for each and every lifter as a memory and thank you of being here. 2025 European Equipped Powerlifting Championships, Pilsen, Czechia. And we will start with squat medals. So, squat medals. Bronze medal goes to Martin Lange, Germany, with the best attempt, 397.5 kilos. Squat silver medal to Oliver Dahlqvist, Sweden, the best attempt, 410 kilos. And the squat gold medal to Danilo Kovalov from Ukraine, with best attempt of 415 kilo. Big smiles. Then we have medals on bench press. Bronze medal goes to Martin Lange, Germany, with best attempt, 295 kilos. Bench press silver medal to Oliver Dahlqvist, Sweden, best attempt of 315 kilos. Bench press gold medal to Danilo Kovalov, Ukraine, with best attempt of 330 kilos. Then we have the medals on deadlift. Bronze medal on deadlift goes to Giovanni Mancinelli, Italy, with best attempt of 320 kilos. Silver medal to Dimitro Holinay, Ukraine, with best attempt, 322.5 kilos. Deadlift gold medal to Danilo Kovalov, Ukraine, with 325 kilos, best attempt. Thank you, gentlemen. Then we have medals on total. Today, the bronze medalist is Martin Lange, Germany, a total of 1,010 kilos. The silver medalist is Oliver Dahlqvist, Sweden, with a total of 1,030 kilos. And the gold medalist, European champion 2025, Danilo Kovalov, Ukraine, with a total of 1,070 kilos. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for national anthem of Ukraine. you, gentlemen. Thank you for coming here. I hope to see you all back next year, even stronger if possible. Next category, 120 plus. Plus category, here they come. Thank you, and first the participation medals by our EPF President, Mr. Björn Astad from Norway, and our EPF Treasurer, Mr. Xavier de Pudorak from France. It is a nice memory of being here, 2025 European Powerlifting Championships, Pilsen, Czechia. Then we start with squat medals. Today the bronze medal on squat goes to Florin Lupas, Romania, with best attempt 390 kilos. Silver medal to Gudfinnur Magnusson, Iceland. Best attempt 420 kilos. And the gold medal on squat to Victor Holinay, Ukraine. With best attempt of 480 kilos. Thank you, gentlemen. Then we have bench press medals, and bronze medal goes to Gudfinnur Magnusson, Iceland. The best attempt of 310 kilos. Bench press silver to Florin Lupas, Romania. Best attempt of 312.5 kilos. And bench press gold medal to Victor Holinay, Ukraine, with best attempt of 350 kilos. Big smiles, gentlemen. Your time to shine. Thank you. And we have the deadlift medals. Today, the bronze on deadlift goes to Santeri Helin from Finland. With best attempt of 315 kilos. Deadlift silver to Christoph Seefeld, Germany. With best attempt 337.5 kilos. And deadlift gold medal to Victor Holinay, Ukraine. 370 kilos, best attempt. Thank you, gentlemen. Medals on total. Today, the bronze medalist is Florin Lupas, Romania. with a total of 1,005 kilos. The silver medalist is Gunnfinnur Magnusson from Iceland. The total of 1,030 kilos. And the gold medalist, European champion 2025 is Victor Holinay from Ukraine with huge total of 1,200 kilos. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for national anthem of Ukraine. Congratulations. Then we have Best Lifters trophies.